Hi guys, Bob here, and in this video we're going to be talking about tips and tricks for Rebelle, and I'm just taking you through the painting process as you can see on the screen. So it's a bit of my painting process and I'm just kind of winging this. I have no script, so we will see how this goes as per normal. I will apologise for not being on here for a while. So we start with sketching, and you can see I've got the pencil chosen and I'm using one called H-Colour, and I'm using a reference and I am just trying to get down the general face look. I've used this cross mechanism here to get the kind of nose location. You can try using that yourself. It was a bit of an experiment for me. So yep, just working my way through to get a base sketch, using the pencil, putting in the chin area here, and a good base sketch always is quite useful and helpful. I will keep the sketch layer on a separate layer. Now I wanted to stop the video here a wee bit and just show you the selection. Now I was a wee bit confused at this point. I was trying to say, where is my move button? And if you have pressed the warp button before, please notice that it is behind to get to the move button. So you have to kind of go into two menus to get to the move area. To deselect, you can go back into the move button or the selection button and click the little square as shown. So I'm continuing the sketch. I got a new camera to show you my screen at the same time, and I just wanted to include some of that footage. I've moved over to watercolor here, and I'm looking at how to get a kind of backdrop. You can see the water simulation taking place. So how am I going to get the background looking textured? I am using that paper, like I said, HM12 Recycle, and this I'm using the flat wash brush. I decided to start with the hair and just block in blue. I decided to have blue hair for whatever reason. My kind of colour scheme here was blue and orange, and I was just trying different things. I didn't want to be too rigid with my brush strokes, so it's very loose. Now up the top right you'll notice there's a tilt button, and you need to be aware of that, and that will determine which way the water flows. Just sketching in the shadows, letting the water flow, and if you see it, there's a little icon appears at the top left, kind of flashes. That's when I hit the F key on my keyboard, and it's for fast dry. So I'm using fast dry. Be aware that if water's going everywhere in your paper and you're not getting that build up, you can dry the layer using the button as shown. At this point I am using the blow brush, and this is to give it a bit of texture. If you blow the water in different directions and let it flow, it does give you some nice cloud effects. It could be used for a kind of cloudy scene if that's what you wanted to do. To sketch in some of the details a wee bit more hard and show you real kind of nice crisp details, I decided to move over and use the oil brush for a bit there. We can then use the blending brush tool to help us get some of the softer touches in and about our painting. Again, the problem with doing tutorials is you don't know what you're going to paint. You don't really set out to paint, or I certainly don't set out to paint in a particular way, and I just like to see what happens. In this case I'm using the kind of blend oil brush again to put in some of those crisper details. Now you'll notice here that the hair, if you put a nice shine, a white part in amongst a certain kind of area, you can make the hair look shimmering, and I've used this quite often through various processes, various drawings that I have done. Using this orange colour, I really wanted this kind of blue and orange kind of colour scheme, and I'm just kind of doing a transition over to showing you me drawing. And just so you know that this is how I draw. This is my Huion tablet that I've had for many years. Still does me well. I would like to upgrade to a Wacom, but the money is a bit expensive for perhaps what I will gain. And like I says, it does me well. So we're continuing on here, putting in details, putting in lights and shadows, which I've discussed before. Lighting the lips, lighting the eyelids, lighting the hair, as we discussed. Blocking in some of the hair. Looking at, again, light and shadow. Just always remember light and shadow, because if you're drawing similar to what I am doing, That is one of the most important things. So the watercolors again give us that lovely ability to pick up the paper texture, and then it allows us to have some dynamic kind of look to our images as opposed to some of the very digital drawings that we see. I do love Rebelle from that point of view, and I'd make no qualms about telling you that. I wanted a kind of cartoon comic book look to this drawing, so you can see I've started kind of outlining some of the areas, some of the body, and just to give it a bit of a comic book look. Again, I'm still, style-wise, if you look through all my drawings, portraits are kind of my thing, and I like to try different things just to see how I can maybe do a video to help out you guys watching along. Just sketching in details again here, just with the eyelashes coming across the eyelid. Just again following my reference. So again, remember that's light and shadow. When you put in a shadow, there's going to be a light part, otherwise you can't have light and shadow. So the eyes I needed to work on. I need to get the eyes looking a bit better. I'm not overly bothered. I like a wee bit of abstract to my drawings. Again, just adding in details of the hair, details of the way the clothes would fit. I did look at some references for clothing just to try and see how I could get the clothes to look a bit better. And again, just adding scratches or adding in some detail. I decided to put in perspective. For quite a lot of my drawings, I like some sort of perspective drawing to be done within them. It comes from my love of comics and from my love of game magazines, where they use a lot of perspective to show spaceships flying into the distance and different things like that. So you can get that through the edit menu as I showed you, and you can turn on the perspective, and then you can choose 1 point, 2 point or 3 point perspective. So at this point I decided to just touch the eyes up, try and get them a bit better, a bit more symmetrical. There's many methods. You can use the reference method guide or the reference image guides that are available in Rebelle. I've shown them in other videos. Looking for the light and the shadow under the nose. Just getting to the details. I spent about 2.5 hours on this drawing. A bigger piece, I've said before, my longest piece probably about 15 to 20 hours. This was really just to kind of ease me gently back into drawing, because I have had to have a break from it for a wee while there, just due to ill health and work taking over. I've been very tired, so just trying to get back to drawing. And I do love it. When I do it, I love it. It's just trying to get over that initial hurdle of doing anything when you're tired coming in from work. But I've got a weekend off, so pretty pleased to just get back into some drawing and some video editing, just to give you guys some tips and tricks. Now, some of you will recognise this logo, and I'll leave that to you to put in the comments should you wish to do so. Like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So it's based on a movie, and it was just another detail I decided to add in because I love the movie quite a lot, and I wanted to kind of try and do a curve of the arm, trying to get some sort of curve so that you've got an idea of kind of 3D effect to the painting. Just watch along, and if you look, keep an eye on the top left where I'm jumping between tools and watercolors. I have shown these in a lot more detail in some of my other videos. Just have a wee look there to see how you set them up and get the settings correct. This is where, if you dry the page, you can get the water to bead up and add drips into your painting. It's well worth a try. Texture, so look at the brushes. I think I used a scatter brush there just to get some texture into the drawing, and I could keep going with this drawing. I could keep it moving forward. I did just want to show you me on the screen and painting on the canvas at the same time. Quite often when you can't see somebody's hand, you're like, how are they doing this? Are they using a mouse? Are they using a stylus? And I just wanted to show you, using my new camera, how I actually draw It's very similar to drawing on any kind of paper, just with the stylus that comes with my tablet. You're looking at the cheekbone there, you're trying to get the shadow just to show the change in the cheek direction. I was using an overlay layer as well, and that helps bring out the kind of red colours in the cheeks without losing lots of the detail. You'll see me change to overlay here, and that's a separate layer, so add a layer, change it to overlay, and then you can kind of get away with adding little hints of colour to your drawing. Back to the normal layer, just kind of finishing off. I've been at it for 3 hours. I wanted to put up a video on YouTube because it's been too long, and I just wanted to give you some tips and tricks and take you through my drawing process. So sketch, some watercolours, some oils, different things, different paper, different brushes, just to get the texture into your drawing. So I hope you've enjoyed. This is the kind of total process here as captured by Rebelle, which does a good job for you, and you can kind of see where I've decided to finish this drawing at the moment. Thank you very much for watching, and wee Bob is out. Cheers.